How many seconds will it take you to solve this sort question? What about this? And this one? 30 seconds? 20 seconds? Or 10 seconds? Hello and welcome to LogicBridge Academy. Today, we will be solving selected JAMB questions on sorts. Before we begin, let's quickly refresh our minds on the basic rules of sorts. The first rule of sorts is multiplication rule. The multiplication rule says if we have two numbers under a single square root, each of these numbers can go into its separate square root. So we have square root of A multiplied by square root of B. The same thing goes to division. If we have a square root of A all over B, this is the same thing as square root of A all over square root of B. Now the third rule, which is similar to the law of indices. When we have square root of A square, we know this square will cancel the square root, so we have A. Now the last rule is we should know that only like sorts can be added or subtracted. For example, when we have square root of A plus square root of A, these are like sorts, so we can have two square root of A, but never unlike sorts. For example, square root of A plus or minus B is not equals to, take note, not equals to square root of A plus or minus square root of B. No. Only like sorts are added. Unlike sorts cannot be added or subtracted from one another. Having refreshed our mind with the rules of sorts, now let's go back to the first question. The first question says, simplify without using tables. 2 square root of 14 multiplied by 3 square root of 21 all over 7 square root of 24 times 2 square root of 98. And these are the options A, B, C, and D. When simplifying sort, the logic is simple. Always check if the number inside the square root, like this and this, can be expressed as a product involving perfect square number. For example, this is 98, and 98 is the same thing as 49 times 2, and 49 is a perfect square number. If not, then look for common factor or relationship within the numbers that allow you to break it down. For example, this is 24. So we can break 24 into 4 times 2 times 3. That is the logic. Perfect square first, the logic relationships. To solve this question, let's break the numbers inside the square root. So we're going to have 2 multiplied by, instead of 14, 14 is the same thing as what? 7 times 2, right? Multiplied by 3 square root of 21 is the same thing as 7 times 3 over, we have 7 square root of 24 is the same thing as 4 times 3 times 2, right? Multiply by 2 square root of 98 is the same thing as 49 times 2. Good. Now let's separate all of them. So we're going to have 2 multiplied by square root of 7 times square root of 2, right? Multiply by 3 times square root of 7 times square root of 3 all over, here we'll have 7 times square root of 4 times square root of 3 times square root of 2, that is for this. Then multiply by 2 times square root of 49 square root of 49 times square root of 2. Now, for better understanding, let me rearrange them. So here we can have 2 multiplied by, we have 3 here, so I can bring them together. Multiply by, we have square root of 2, square root of 2, multiply by square root of 3, square root of 3, multiply by square root of 7, square root of 7, square root of 7 times square root of 7 over, here we have 2, I can bring 2, multiply by 7, then multiply by square root of 2, square root of 2, we have square root of 2 times square root of 2 times square root of 4, right? Multiply by, okay, sorry, square root of 3 first. So square root of 3 times square root of 4 times square root of 49. Am I right? Now let's continue. So we can have 2 multiplied by 3 multiply by square root of 2 multiply by square root of 3 multiply by, this is square root of 7 times square root of 7. We can multiply according to our rules of sort. 7 times 7 is 49 and square root of 49 is 7. So you can agree with me that this is 7 all over, this is, we can have 2 times 7 multiply by the same thing, we have square root of 2 times square root of 2, that is square root of 4, and square root of 4 is 2. Then multiply by square root of 3, which is this. Square root of 4, we all know is what? 2. Multiply by square root of 49 is 7. Good. So now let's look at our numerator and denominator and see which one will cancel which. So let's start with the first one. At least 2 will go with 2. You can agree with me. And then 3 is safe. Square root of 2 is safe. But square root of 3 will go with square root of 3. And I can say this 7 will take out this 7 as well. So all we'll be left with is 3 multiplied by square root of 2 all over 2 times 2, which is this, times 7, which is equals to 3 square root of 3 times square root of 2. We have 3 square root of 2 all over 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 7, 28. So our answer is 3 root 2 all over 28. 3 root 2 all over 28. As you can see, our answer is 3 root 2 all over 28, which is D. Now our second question. The second question says, rationalize 2 minus square root of 5 all over 3 minus square root of 5. And these are the options. Remember, this is rationalization. And in rationalization, we multiply both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the numerator. What is conjugate? If this is subtraction, we will change it to addition. If it is addition, we change it to subtraction. So this is subtraction. So we are definitely multiplying both numerator and denominator by 3 plus square root of 5 all over 3 plus square root of 5. This is like 1. So multiplying it by 1 does not change anything. So we can have this by this and this by this. So which is 2 minus square root of 5 into bracket 3 plus square root of 5 all over 3 minus square root of 5 into bracket 3 plus square root of 5. So now let's quickly expand this bracket. Let's do it the traditional way. 2 times 2, we have 6, right? 2 times square root of 5, we have plus 2 square root of 5. Minus square root of 5 times 3, we have minus 3 square root of 5, right? And then minus square root of 5 times square root of 5. So we'll have minus square root of 5 square, right? All over. We know this is clearly difference of two squares because this is minus and this is plus. And everyone that knows square root of, difference of two squares, we know definitely we have something of this nature. 3 square minus square root of 5 square. This is difference of two squares. So now let's simplify this. So here we're going to have 6. These are like sort, right? Like we explained in our basic rules of sort. So this can be subtracted. So here we will have minus square root of 5, because 2 square root of 5 minus 3 square root of 5 will be left with square root of 5, right? Minus 5 square, right? Square root of 5 square will cancel square root, so we'll have 5 all over, this is what? Square 3 square, 9, minus square will cancel square root, so we'll have 5. So what are we saying? This is 6 minus 5, which is what? 1, minus square root of 5 all over 9 minus 5, 4. So we have 1 minus square root of 5 all over 4. That's the answer. 1 minus square root of 5 all over 4. 1 minus square root of 5 all over 4. So our answer is B. The last question in this series video is also rationalization. The question says rationalize 2 square root of 3 plus square root of 5 all over square root of 5 minus square root of 3. So guess what we are multiplying our numerator and denominator by? If you say conjugate of this, you are right. So we are multiplying by, since this is minus, so we're going to have plus root 3 all over root 5 plus root 3. So we're going to have 2 root 3 plus root 5, a product of root 5 plus root 3 all over root 5 minus root 3, a product of root 5 plus root 3. So let's do the multiplication. We are going to have 2 root 3 multiplied by 2 root 5. So 2 will remain, multiply by 3 times 5. We are going to have square root of, remember basic rules of sort. We can multiply the two numbers inside the square root. So we'll have 3 times 5, which is equals to 15. Then 2 root 3 times root 3. So we're going to have multiply by this 2 is there. Then we have root 3 times root 3. Square root of 3 times 3. That will give us square root of 9. Plus root 5 times root 5. We are going to have root 5 times root 5. Or we can simply say root 5 square. The root 5 plus root 3. So we are going to have this is plus. So we are going to have root 5 times 3, which is root 15 all over, remember this is difference of two squares, so we are going to have root 5 all square minus root 3 square. So now we can have something of this nature. This is 2 times root 5, we have root 15, we have 2 root 15 plus 2 times, this is square root of, this is 9, square root of 9 is 3, so we have 2 times 3, which is 6, then plus, remember square will cancel square root, we have 6 plus 5, then plus root 15 all over, square will cancel square roots, so we will have square will cancel square root, so we will have 5 minus square will cancel square root, we will have 3. This is 2 root 5 plus root 5, so we are going to have 3 root, I keep saying root 5, root 15 plus 6 plus 5, this is 11 all over 5 minus 3, which is 2. So we have 3 root 15 plus 11 all over 2. Let's check our options. 3 root 15 plus 11, 3 root 15 minus 11, so 3 root 15 plus 11 all over 2. 3 root 15 plus 11 all over 2, so it means our answer is 1. This is LogicBridge Academy. See you in my next video. Thank you.